Is it fall already?
Alright. Now that I got that joke out of the way, let's talk about some movies. We had a fantastic summer for movies. Some had me at the edge of my seat, while others brought out my emotions, but all of them left an impression on me. I'll tell you what I think about all the movies I've seen this summer, but I'm only going to talk about a few in depth. These were the ones that I loved and continue to think about way after their initial theatrical run, so sit back and relax. This is going to be a long one. First on my list is Jurassic World. The park is finally open. The biggest amusement park in the world is thriving, but they need a new attraction to bring in more customers. The scientists have created a new breed of dinosaur called the Indominus Rex. The dinosaur has a bit of an anger problem, which causes trouble for the park. When the Indominus Rex escapes, it's up to a raptor trainer named Owen Grady to get people to safety and try and stop the Indominus Rex. The film stars Chris the Human $ Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Vincent D'Onofrio. After 21 years and 2 crappy sequels, we finally got a film that's a worthy follow-up to Jurassic Park. This film was everything I loved about the first one and more. The magic and wonder was something that I thought couldn't be replicated, but I was wrong. The characters were great additions to the universe, especially Owen Grady. He was the heart and soul of the park. He knows the dinosaurs, is amazed by the technology used to create them, and hates the big business nature of the park. His charm and wit really carried the film. His performance really put me on board for his casting in the rumored 5th Indiana Jones film. Now the real focus of the film is the park itself. Boy, was it awesome! It felt like Disney World, but the attractions could eat you. It also served as a great set piece for all of the action. The way they show you the park, the interaction with dinosaurs is really cool. The action was something else entirely. Dinosaur versus dinosaur action? What more could you ask for? This film gets 5 axes. Did you ever wonder what exactly is going on inside your head? What controls your thoughts, feelings, and memories? Well, Pixar's newest film, Inside Out, sets out to answer that question. The film follows the emotions of Riley, an 11-year-old girl who is moving away to a new house in San Francisco. Inside her head, her emotions are working to keep her happy while she transitions to the new environment. When Riley's core memories, the key parts of her personality, get lost inside her brain, it's up to joy and sadness to work together to find the memories and make Riley happy again. The film stars Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, and Richard Kind. I love the work that Pixar has done over the years. With every film, they always create a unique environment with great characters that people young and old can relate with. Even with some of their lackluster films, they still manage to put so much great work that cannot be rivaled. This film continues Pixar's long line of great and memorable films. The emotions were great characters and were really unique. The casting choices for each of them were brilliant as well, especially Phyllis Smith as sadness and Louis Black as anger. They brought a lot of personality to the film and made it interesting. Riley's head was a great setting. Everything felt like a well-oiled machine with many different departments controlling different aspects of Riley's brain. It had everything from memory dumpers to a section for her imagination. My favorite section was Dream Productions, a huge studio where they make dreams. This film was an emotional roller coaster, no pun intended. It makes you happy, sad, angry, scared, and disgusted all throughout the film. I think that was the filmmaker's intention for it. To feel. They are emotions, so they want you to use them. I saw it 5 times, and each time I felt emotionally drained by the end of it. This film gets 5 well-deserved axes. And finally, my favorite movie of the summer. Nothing else from this summer can compare to it. Yes, Mad Max is back and is rebuilt shiny in chrome. After almost 2 decades in pre-production, they finally released it for a new generation of filmgoers. This film is about a group of women who have escaped from a cult that controls most of the water in the wasteland and uses women as slaves for breeding and milk. The leader, Imperator Furiosa, has taken a huge tanker truck full of water and oil to get to a safe zone to live in peace from the rule of Immortan Joe. Max is taken hostage by the Immortan's army called the War Boys. He escapes and helps Furiosa and her gang try to defend the war rig from the attacking War Boys. The film stars Charlize Theron, Nicholas Hoult, and Tom Hardy as Max. This film was a breath of fresh air. The practical effects in this film have amazed me more than any action film with CGI in the past decade. Every scene was beautifully done and put a huge smile on my face. The whole film was like George Miller took the climax from Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior and made an entire movie. This movie was one huge action set piece, but kept the film going. There was never a dull moment. I also loved the performances of the actors in this film. Charlize Theron, Furiosa, was a great main character. She was a strong leader and had me rooting for her the entire film. Nicholas Hoult, who played Nux, a war boy turned hero, is probably one of my favorite characters of 2015. His craziness mixed with his warm heart was just a joy to see on screen. Tom Hardy also did a great job as Max. He didn't speak much. It's kind of like Max in The Road Warrior. He only spoke 16 lines of dialogue through the whole film. Hardy was a great replacement for Mel Gibson. Also, flaming guitar guy. How awesome was that? I cannot say enough about the action in this film. The work that the stunt actors and crew put into this film really shows how much you can achieve with practical effects. This film gets 6 axes out of 5. Trust me, it deserves it. Now it's time for the lightning round. This is a small section of things I watched but still wanted to talk about. This is going to be quick, so try and keep up. San Andreas was cool, but a very generic disaster movie. It didn't leave me disappointed, but it didn't bring anything new to the table. 2 axes. Spy was a funny comedy with a really great cast, really well written. Jason Statham stole the show. 3.5 axes. Tomorrowland spent a lot of time hyping up the actual Tomorrowland, but barely spent any time fleshing it out. I still enjoyed the adventures in this film too. 2.5 axes. Terminator Genisys was a good entry in the series and had some great uses of CGI. The characters didn't feel the same from the earlier entries, but overall it was pretty cool. 3.5. Vacation turned one of my favorite comedies into a generic piece of garbage and left out the heart and dry humor of the original for modern shock humor. The characters also sucked. 1/2 axe. I liked the final fight. And finally, Ant-Man was a really great heist movie with some really cool fight scenes and felt like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on steroids. 4 axes. Well, that's it for me this week. I hope you enjoyed my favorite movies of the summer. I know I left a few out. I skipped Fantastic Four, and I still really need to see Straight Outta Compton. So please, comment below with your favorite movies of the summer, or some of your least favorite movies. I'd love to read them. I'm Steven Serkowitz, and I'm going to go watch some more movies. I'll see you next week.
Yo. Yo. Yo.